What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the all-new 2021 Ford Raptor. Huge shout out and thank you to Carolina Auto Direct for providing this new third generation Raptor for today's video. Check them out, I have their website linked below. And the model that we're looking at today is finished off in code orange and has an MSRP around $76,000. Underneath the hood, the all-new Raptor utilizes the 3.5 liter EcoBoost 6-cylinder engine. This twin-turbo V6 pumps out 450 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. It's paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission and sends a power to the rear wheels. Of course, we do have a four-wheel drive transfer case. And then with a curb weight around 5,700 pounds and running on a 26-gallon fuel tank, you're looking at 15 miles per gallon in the city with 18 out on the highway. The overall length is 232.6 inches with a wheelbase at 145.4, height is 79.8, and width is 86.6 inches. And then of course the Raptor is an off-road focused F-150 with approach angle at 31 degrees, breakover at 22.6 degrees, departure angle is 23.9, and then minimum ground clearance is even 12 inches. And the payload is 1,410 pounds with max towing up to 8,200 pounds. The suspension is one of the most important features of the Ford Raptor. We get a 5-link rear suspension with extra long trail arms to better maintain axle position, and we even get 24-inch rear coil springs back here. And then in all four corners, you're going to notice the Fox suspension setup with live valve internal bypass. And then moving to the exterior design with the all-new 3rd gen Raptor, this has a massive front end, really gives it a wide off-road appearance. We have a set of LED headlights with LED daytime running lights. They feature a blacked housing and they're sunken into the bodywork to really give it a modern design. You'll see that Ford is written out in the front grille with a really aggressive font finished off in a metallic gray. There's 3 lights in the top part of the grille, and then a ton of openings to allow cooling to the engine and intercooler. You'll also notice a forward-facing camera in the lower side, and then the lower bumper also has another opening with the same mesh to allow more cooling, and there's even active grille shutters in the back to improve efficiency when needed. There's 4 parking sensors within this steel bumper, and we get some nice silver color accents in the lower center. There's 2 metal tow hooks in the front bumper, and we get a set of rigid LED fog lights on the farthest side. There's even a piece on the inside that has a Raptor logo, and I really love how the front end comes together to give this one of the most aggressive front ends out there. The front fenders from this front view, you can see just how wide they are compared to a standard F-150. They bulge outward along with the fender flare to make this thing look awesome. The hood has more aggressive lines that even wrap around the front portion of the hood, and there's a really cool graphic on the farthest sides. You'll see the sharp lines going towards the windshield and a really cool heat extraction vent in the center that's raised, and we get the Raptor logo on the farthest sides. The whole front end wraps into these front fenders that bulge outward, and you'll notice a functional heat extraction vent in the backside of the fenders, along with a big set of fender flares in that same metallic gray. And then moving to the side profile, we get the optional set of 17-inch beadlock capable wheels. They have that same metallic gray for the beadlock and then a satin black towards the center. They're finished off in a circular design and really add to the off-road appearance, and they're wrapped with a BF Goodrich all-terrain tire. The side profile is extremely proportional with the 5.5-foot bed and super crew cab. It looks really aggressive, and I like how you can notice how the front and the rear fenders bulge outward to give it a meaty design, and you'll see a lot of sharp lines going through the side profile from the front fender to the rear and even in the lower portion of these doors. We get a set of textured black Raptor branded running boards on the side that allow you to enter and exit the truck a little bit easier, and we even get a set of body colored door handles and mirror caps. The mirror caps feature an LED turn signal as well as a side view camera, and the window trim is all finished off in black with gloss black B-pillars to blend the glass seamlessly. Moving towards the roof, we get the optional panoramic sunroof, which is a great feature to have, and then you'll see the Raptor graphic on the bedside that matches what we saw up front. Has an American flag on it, and you'll notice identical corner lights in the rear fender flares. Moving to the rear end of the new Raptor, this features a set of LED taillights that are sunken into the bodywork, and you can really tell how much wider the fender flares are with the design all around them. In the center of the tailgate, we get a massive Ford logo with F-150 on the left and Raptor to the right, and then up top we get the standard backup camera and LED light as well as the actuator for the tailgate release. The rear bumper is finished off in metal and in that same metallic gray finish. There's 4 more parking sensors back here with a steel tow hook on each side. You can see the dual exhaust with satin black exhaust tips, the trailer hitch is in the center, and then all the connections are on the left side of the license plate. So there's a good look at the exterior with the 3rd generation Ford Raptor. This is an awesome looking truck. I especially love the proportions and then all the accents and all the sharp lines. We now have Ford's key fob with Raptor on one side. If I go ahead and lock the truck, I can then double tap on the engine start stop button. Ooh, the EcoBoost roars to life, and we already have a really good sounding exhaust. Just pressing it once, we can shut that back off. And then whenever I get close to the truck, the lights automatically turn on. Then by grabbing a door handle, we can automatically unlock it and check out this interior. This truck gets a black leather interior with silver accents all throughout. If we go ahead and take a look at the door panel now, finished off all in black, you can see the smooth black leather along the armrest with some padding and a really cool design right here. It kind of looks like denim, has a plasticky rubber texture, and you can see some nice contrast stitching to it. We have a really cool design up here, kind of mimicking carbon fiber, and then we get your lock and unlock with memory seating, all the window and mirror controls, then your release handle and grab handle. Beneath that, we have part of the Bang and Olufson audio system with some storage, and then a ton more storage in the lower portion. Moving our way inside, you can get a better view of how large these side steps are. We get Ford Performance on the door sill, and then all the power controls to the left of the seat, even with a nice brushed aluminum trim all around. You can see the smooth black leather with stitching, and then a little bit of micro suede along the bolsters and in the front. They have a really cool texture. We get perforated leather right in the center. More of that fabric design, smooth leather, Raptors embossed into the leather up top with more stitching, and we even get perforations in the headrest with the Bang & Olufsen audio up there as well. Then moving around to the steering wheel, finished off in black leather with a stripe up top and then some satin trim. So to now enter inside the truck, with it unlocked, the power folding mirrors will come out. One thing I really like is the display you see in the center here. A Ford Raptor pops up in a really cool animation, and then we even get Ford Performance over on this massive touchscreen display. If I go ahead and close the door now, we can go ahead and put my foot on the brake and fire it up. The engine roars to life, really cool animation with Built Ford Tough. And like I said, we get a full LCD display for the center gauge cluster. We have your tachometer over on the left, and then your speedometer to the right. You can also see some vitals up top. In the center, there's a configurable screen, and you can control it using the buttons over on the right side of the steering wheel. If I go ahead and scroll through this configure mode, you can see a lot of different things that will come up, from driver's assistance, your fuel economy as well. We have trip information. And then this off-road page is pretty neat. You can see how everything changes. You have the steering wheel as well as pitch and roll. Then scrolling down once again, it goes back. Hitting the menu button on the steering wheel, we can control everything here. I can scroll down and see a lot of different information. And then you can go into your settings and have a lot of things that will pop up. If we then take a look at the steering wheel to the right, we also have your different controls for the off-road settings and your drive modes. We have a steering wheel control right here. Tapping this, you can go into your steering. You see normal, a comfort mode, a sport, and then it will go into a track mode in different modes. We have a suspension icon as well for the automatic dampers. They do adjust, and then you can go into the different modes. We have an exhaust valve, which is very cool. I'm excited to drive this truck and see what we have. And then over on the left side of the steering wheel, we can see some of the Bluetooth and audio controls, as well as all of your cruise control. And this truck even gets a huge set of steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. They have a nice look and feel, and they are huge, and they're finished in that same color you saw on the exterior. To the left of the steering wheel now, we have all the headlight controls, as well as an electronic button for your tailgate. You have LED corner lights, an electronic parking brake, and then automatic adjustments for the pedals, as well as the steering wheel. We have one of your air vents with some orange trim and some really cool silver, part of the speakers, more leather going across the dash with some stitching, and a speaker up in the center. And then along the right side of the dash, you have the same design you saw on the door panel. You can open that up and it's an extra glove box. Then of course you have your normal glove box down below with a pretty good amount of space in here. And then taking a look at the center stack now, above the screen we have a shortcut to the engine start stop feature on off. We have a shortcut for your cameras, hazards, traction control, and then your trail control. If we take a look now at the center screen, this is a huge display that we saw on the F-150 for 2021. You can see the navigation screen is really large, super responsive with pinch to zoom and everything like that. We also have a shortcut to your audio to the far left. We have your phone integration, your favorites icon with Wi-Fi, and then we have more icons that'll come up. This apps icon, we have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. All of your settings can come up as well. And then we have features over on this far right side. I really like though, with this screen over here, whatever's in it, you can swipe it over and they'll basically flip-flop, which is a pretty cool touch. Then you can also tap this icon right here and scroll through this menu, kind of like in a cell phone. I like how that is super easy to use. Then you can toggle this to do it manually. You can also go into different modes here. So a lot of cool different things you can see in this truck. Then if I go ahead and put this vehicle into reverse, your standard backup camera is going to come up on the left with a top-down view to the right. Then if I toggle these icons over here, we have a lot of different views. We have the full rear view, different zones. We have a bed camera as well. You can turn the screen off. You can take a look at your actual trailer hitch, and then for towing. And of course we have the front view camera that you can use when you're in the four-wheel drive low. If we go ahead and put the truck back into park, and then beneath the actual screen we have all the controls for your audio as well as the climate. You can see the volume on the left, tuning on the right, different controls down here. We do get dual zone climate control that comes up on this lower screen. You have heated and ventilated seats with toggles right here as well as a heated steering wheel. Then you can toggle this icon right here to do your fan speed. And I really like how whenever you do something down here, it comes up on the screen itself. I think that's a great feature just to make it a little bit simpler and user-friendly. Over on the left now, we have your Pro Trailer icon. You can adjust how you like everything, and that's helping you with backing up. So I like how this does have some good towing features. We have the trailer brake adjustment, and then you can see your drive mode right here. You can toggle that to change it, and then we of course have your locking differential. Beneath that, we have some storage in this lower cubby. I can push this out of the way. We have a wireless phone charging mat as well as 2 USB ports. Then we can go ahead and let that close. We have 2 cup holders on the right, a slot in the center that you could place a cell phone. Then you can toggle this button right here. It'll lower the entire shifter out of the way, which is a really cool touch. And the reason why they've done that is for 2021, there's a handle on the back of the center, and you can actually use this as a workbench. This is really convenient if you're working out of this truck. You can set your food on here, different papers, a laptop. I think that's an awesome feature for any truck like this. And then by pressing the front button, we can open up this center console. We have a removable storage tray and then a ton of space in here with another USB port down below. That's a lot of space for a truck for sure. And then one last look at the overall interior. You can see the beautiful seats with all the black leather and everything. Really comes together to look like a modern truck, and it's super sporty with all the tech that you're gonna need. And then taking a look up top, we have extra auxiliaries up here if you're gonna wanna add any winches or extra lights to this. I think Ford has done a really good job giving you that type of modification. We can open up this for a sunglass holder, and then in front of that we have all the controls for the sunroof as well as the sunshade and even the power sliding rear glass. You can toggle this button and the back will automatically open and close, which is a great feature for any truck. And then as far as these buttons go, pulling this back, we can open that up for the entire sunshade and then even move the glass black as well. And then moving to the rear seat space, I'll go ahead and open up the door. The door panel is finished off just like we saw up front, even with that cool material, and then the speaker down below. We have all the same materials back here with the fabric design, the perforated leather as well as the smooth leather. This is a 3-seater bench row back here. And then on the back side of the front seats, we even get extra cargo areas. Down below here, you can see 2 different air vents with heated seats. You have 2 cup holders for the back passengers, and then down below that, we can open up these for 2 USB ports, as well as a 3-prong outlet, and then a 12-volt right in the center. We have a ton of space in here, of course, being the crew cab, and then grabbing the seat, we can lift this open, and it reveals a ton of storage in the lower portion of this floor. And then I really like how in the center, you can unlock this tab and pull this entire piece up, and then even lock it into place. So you have a nice secure area to store items underneath the seats. And then by just grabbing this lever right here, we can automatically pull down the seat into its normal position, and that's all nice and hidden. Alright, so now sitting in the backseat of the new Raptor. This is a pretty comfortable truck. The F-150 in general is a really good sized vehicle. You have so much space. So I'm 5'11" sitting here, and I have about maybe 2 inches of headroom, and there is a ton of space in front of my knees for the driver's seat. I have that driver's seat set at my height. When the panoramic roof is open, that's a really cool touch, especially being back here. And there's even an extra cup holder over on the side. You have a pretty good armrest and then a ton of glass all around, making this feel pretty open. And of course that center glass opening that gives you some airflow. You can also open up this centerpiece. We have a nice little armrest with 2 more cup holders. And then finishing it up, we have LED dome lights as well as a hook and a grab handle. To move on to the bed space, you can double tap the button on the key fob. Of course, use the one that's on the tailgate or on the interior. We have a full spray and bed liner in the back of this Raptor, and it has 52.8 cubic feet of cargo space. All right guys, so we are setting off now in the all-new Ford Raptor. I've always been a fan of the Raptors because they really just give you that awesome off-road capability, a lot of performance, and a really usable truck. I mean, the F-150 I think is like the #1 selling vehicle in our country, so it's cool to have such a crazy blend in a truck like this. So first and foremost, getting my bearings with it, you have all the luxuries you need to be nice and comfortable. This is a really comfortable vehicle. You could daily drive this. I mean, you have everything that any high-end luxury car would have. The Fox suspension, of course, is going to be all designed for those high-speed off-road trails, you know, jumping. You can literally jump a Raptor and it's not going to break most of the time. So that means when you're on road, it is so soft and comfortable. The suspension is just insane. Cruising now, we're in the normal quiet mode, everything. It's a comfortable vehicle, you know, it's a daily driver. You could drive this all the time, throw the kids in the back, throw dirt bikes in the back, do anything in a Raptor. And that's, I think, why they sell so well and why they go way over MSRP right now. These things sell like hotcakes. So then continue getting comfortable in it. The armrests are in a really good place. Steering wheel is really thick, so I like that performance feel. It even has like cutouts in the back where you can really grip it. I mean, if you're doing some Baja racing, you're gonna be able to handle this truck really well. You have fantastic visibility like any pickup truck would over your left and your right shoulder. You pretty much have no blind spots. Really comfortable for daily use for on-road capabilities. And then I love how we have all the tech now with this massive screen. I mean, this is a great truck to be in. You can see the whole hood. There is a lot of cool features of this truck. So now we'll turn on to a little twisty road. The brakes do a really good job. We get a little bit of body roll, which is kind of expected for being an off-road focused truck. Giving it some gas. And that's up to 60, just quarter throttling it around 4,000 RPM. I like how big all the font is in the center gauge cluster. It's really easy to read. And then the 10 speed, I mean, you don't even feel it. It shifts so quickly. So with that said, let's go ahead, put us into the Baja mode for the exhaust. Suspension, off-road is only for off-road, but we'll go into sport mode now. Same with steering. And then if I just tap the manual icon, we now have manual control. It does take a little bit getting down to a lower gear being such a high-speed transmission. I wouldn't say the paddles are that responsive. There's a pretty good delay between when you hit it and when it shifts. Let's try that again from a slower speed. But I think especially if you're going to be off-roading this or doing some high-speed things like in the desert, it's nice to have that control over the transmission. So see, that was a little bit of a delay to second gear, but now in second, it's pretty quick. I mean, it weighs almost 6,000 pounds, so you're expecting it to not be the fastest thing out there. I mean, it gets up to speed. I wouldn't say it's gonna blow the doors off of a TRX, but if you tune this, of course. And I think the Raptor R is in existence, so you can always get that one if you want a Shelby motor underneath the hood. But nonetheless, the EcoBoost does what it needs to do. It sounds good. That's a good tone to it. It kind of has almost like a baby Ford GT engine because it's pretty much the same engine. And this is all stock. That's pretty cool how it does sound that good. That is definitely sweet. All right, getting back up and going now. We're back into the normal basic modes, automatic, quiet mode, exhaust, and everything. As you can see, we got a really good view around. I love this steering wheel, it just looks and feels super cool. And the materials in this truck feel really nice. I think Ford's done a really good job stepping up the quality to where this interior feels like it's worth, you know, $70,000. Obviously these trucks are getting very expensive nowadays, but it's nice that you can look around and see quality. Everything just looks and feels really nice. And I think they've done a good job keeping this a high quality vehicle. So we'll go ahead and get back up to some speed. I'll put us back into manual mode and put the exhaust back into the Baja mode to give you some cool sounds. Hit OK on that. Has a pretty cool sound to it for sure. And the paddles are huge, so if you're already hitting the trails, you know, I like how you have a lot of access to touch them and do everything like that. Back into the automatic mode. So it doesn't seem like there's actually drive modes that really change the way the truck is. It's mainly just the suspension and steering. And then if you want a little bit more sound out of the exhaust, you can do that. As far as the steering, we're in the sport mode right now. It's got a pretty tight feeling. It's not crazy like a sports car, but if I then go back into the normal mode, it's way looser. And you can kind of see the truck going back and forth like that, of course. But I like how you do get those types of modes, and I've been in the new Bronco off-road using the Baja Mode, hitting some dirt tracks and stuff, and it's a pretty tight truck. So I would assume that the Raptor, being a bigger boy version of a Bronco even, you know, this is gonna be even better for stuff like that. And of course with the Raptor Bronco coming out, that'll be kind of cool. But I think that's about then it for the all-new Ford Raptor. These things are awesome trucks. I mean, I don't think anybody really hates on them. And of course, now that you can get the Raptor R, if you want that V8, you can do that. And of course, with the TRX out, there is a pretty good competition between the two trucks. You do get better sound and power out of the TRX, but this is a freaking awesome truck. I love being inside of it, and it's less expensive comparing it to the TRX. But I'm a Raptor fan for sure. This is the truck that I would buy if I was in the market for the full-size pickup truck. I don't think you can really argue with it. So I think that's it once again for the all-new 2021 Ford Raptor. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content. And then huge shout out and thank you once again to Carolina Auto Direct for providing this Raptor for today's video. They have a ridiculous selection of nearly brand new pre-owned cars just like this. So definitely check out their website. So that's it guys. I will see you in the next video.